Good morning, it's 11 o'clock, and I'm just sat here thinking about coronavirus and thinking about how I was listening to somebody this morning talking about it and saying that, of course, it's not necessarily a blessing, people are going to die. And hopefully, governments all over the world can act right and really try and address this in the best way possible. But I think it came at a time in my life when the or discomfort is now my friend. Unpredictability is now something that I've learned to live with. And as Byron Katie says, to be a lover of reality is not just what's the word when you're giving lip service? Yeah, you really it really is the most delicious, best place to be is right here and now without resistance, without wanting things to be a different way, because guess what? They are what they are. And of course, that doesn't discount our ability to change things. And if you're feeling like you need to do X, Y, and Z to make yourself and your loved ones safe, that is, of course, the responsible and best thing to do. But I think that mentally, emotionally, those of us who have shied away from confronting our mortality, from confronting the unpredictability of the world, the unfairness of the world. I mean, there are children born into war zones. And because we're born privileged, we hardly ever have a moment to think about what that life would be. And so I'm just thinking about the disruption to our lives, as I hope for the best. I hope people can stay safe. I hope that the governments can do the very best they can. But for those of us who will be lucky enough to survive this and live through it, I hope that we can take this as a moment to look deeper into ourselves, to look and think deeper about what we're doing to the planet. The fact that, this, planet Earth doesn't need us. It could easily shake us off. And we have become so used to, living our modern lives, our industrial lives, and not really thinking, not really consciously feeling alive and connected to the planet that we're on. So my heart really goes out to everybody, those who are sick, those who are vulnerable, but in another way, those who are panicking and those who are feeling emotionally fragile and challenged. I wish there was a way that I could just hug the world and just, this is going to be a challenge for people who are poor, who can't afford to stockpile, and who live month to month, week to week anyway. So I hope that those people can get help if they need it, and that if you know anybody like that, that you could help them. But on a deeper level, I really think that this is a moment for us to look deeper into ourselves and look deeper into our, not just the long-term consequences of what we're doing on the planet and what your footprint is, but just the fact that death is a reality. There are people that, like I said, people that are born in war zones live with the idea that they could die any day, and that to us sounds horrible, but you don't know when your last day is going to be. And I had to deal with that a couple weeks ago and say to myself, what's the worst that could happen? Okay, the worst that could happen is I could get coronavirus and die. And really just sit in that and almost use it as a meditation and say, well, did I think that I was immortal? And it might be terrifying to people who have children. I don't have children, and so I don't know what it's like to really imagine somebody you love going through something that you can't imagine for yourself. So I know I'm speaking just in a certain corridor of understanding, but I really hope that we can take this opportunity to realize that all the ways that we've been distracting ourselves in this world, all the way that we've been ignoring the signs of the universe, the signs of the planet, just on a global warming scale, on a practical level, it's not retribution or anything, but it's an opportunity. Everything that happens to you happens for you. And so isolation is not the end of the world, obviously, but I really just feel such compassion for people that are panicking and that are feeling like the worst is here. Because at the end of the day, everything's going to be okay, no matter what happens. Even if I die of coronavirus, it will be okay, because that's what will be that's what my destiny would have been. So I know it's not a very encouraging note to end on, but stay safe, but also let's live in reality. Let's love reality. Let's not fight and resist changes that need to be made.